Bhujangasana, and upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Two back bends we use all the time, but let's be honest, they're often rushed through, blended together, or completely glazed over in class. You've probably heard or even said, take Cobra or Up Dog if it's in your practice. But what does that actually mean? What's the difference? And how do we know which one is actually right for us or for our students? That's what we're diving into today. Hey there, I'm Crystal Gray, longtime yoga teacher and yoga teacher trainer, and this is my kitty Sweet Pea. I've helped hundreds of yoga teachers build confidence in their voice, get clear with their cueing, and teach in a way that's grounded, supportive, and real. If you want more support with poses just like this one, I actually created a free cueing workbook called Clear and Confident Yoga Cues. You can grab it by clicking the link in the description below. It's full of practical cues, common mistakes to look out for, and a worksheet to help you prep for your next classes. Before we break this down, let me know in the comments which one you tend to teach more, Cobra or Up Dog. Which one do you do more often in your own practice? Now, let's start with Cobra. Practice along with me or just listen along. Maybe close your eyes so that you can really visualize the sensations in your body. Okay, great. Now, lie on your belly with your legs extended back behind you, pointing your feet back and pressing the tops of the feet and toes into the mat. Bring your hands beside your chest with your fingers pointing forward. Draw your navel towards your spine to keep your pelvis neutral with your tailbone pointing more back instead of up. Reach your chest forward and keeping the length of the spine, just drawing forward. Draw the shoulders back, relax them away from the ears. And then make sure not to straighten your elbows. Keeping them bent really helps you to have more freedom in your spine, but also builds more strength in the supporting muscles. Keep the chin tucked slightly to keep the neck long and neutral, and then reach through the crown of the head. Pause here and breathe. Think length and strength. Ask yourself, what parts of me are doing the most work right now? Can I soften anywhere? Am I lifting with strength or pushing with force? Does this feel like effort or efforting? Can I let my spine lead this movement instead of my hands? Remember, this can be a super low back bend. It doesn't have to be a high one, but that doesn't mean it's not just as or even more effective than upward facing dog. Okay, so when you're ready, gently reverse yourself out of the pose. I know I gave a lot of alignment cues, but I'm trying to get the most bang for our buck here with a short amount of time. Now, Cobra is not just a great option for beginners, but honestly for almost anyone. If your spine isn't super mobile, you might actually feel more sensation in it than you would in Up Dog. Even if your spine is usually pretty flexible, sometimes it's just not. Maybe you're practicing in the morning. Or maybe you went on a super long hike the day before. Or maybe you haven't practiced in a really long time. Because your legs are grounded, you can pull the spine forward into the chest and get that heart-opening feeling without dumping into your lower back. So how do you know if you or your student should take Cobra? Well, here's the key. If you need more sensation and you can keep your pelvis grounded, draw the shoulders back, keep your belly button pulled forward in line with your forearms, and lift through the spine, go for it. But honestly, most people that I see come into my classes would benefit way more from Cobra. Either the flexibility isn't there or the strength isn't there for upward facing dog. And just keep all the benefits of Cobra in mind. Just because you or your students can do upward facing dog doesn't mean that's the best option all the time. It's a great practice in allowing the body to choose what's best, not the ego. Cobra helps build spinal strength and control, and it tends to be more accessible for mixed level classes. And if you find it challenging to cue both Cobra and upward facing dog in your classes, go for Cobra. It's a much safer bet, and those that love upward facing dog will probably just do it anyway. Okay, so now let's dive into upward facing dog. My kitty is really wanting attention back there. And the most challenging part about this pose, in my opinion, is coming into it. Since you come into it from chaturanga, which most people can't do properly to begin with because it's just not taught that often. Make sure to check out my video on chaturanga after this one if you want a refresher. All right, so let's come into it from the belly to make it super accessible. Move into your Cobra and then start to press into your hands, and more specifically, the base of your fingers to keep the pressure off the wrists. Then begin to straighten your arms and lift your thighs and pelvis off of the mat. Your feet and your hands are the only things that are touching the floor in upward facing dog. Now, draw your chest forward as you lengthen the spine by reaching the crown of the head toward the ceiling, pulling your hips forward so that your belly button ends up in between your forearms. Yeah, this ensures that you are getting a deep enough back bend. If your body resists the belly coming forward, I would just back out of it and work the back bend in Cobra instead. All right, keep your legs active. Your rib cage is lifted up away from the pelvis. This is a full-on back bend, and it requires more strength and flexibility, especially in the shoulders, low back, and the hip flexors. Take another breath or two here and notice how this feels in your body. Am I lifting from strength or hanging into my joints here? Is my low back compressed or supported by my legs and core? Am I breathing easily or holding my breath? What's the sensation around my heart space? Open, protected, tight, numb? Okay, great job. Now reverse your way out of the pose and join me back in a comfortable seat. So again, how do you know if this is the better option? If you need more sensation and you have the spinal mobility and core support to lift without compressing the low back, then Up Dog might be right for you today. Do you hear my kitty playing with her little ball in the back? But here's the thing. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. Your ego might want Up Dog, but your body and your nervous system might actually be asking for Cobra. That's why I love cueing something in class like, if you need more sensation and you can do some or all of these things that you'll have to decide what you want to say. Keep the spine long, the rib cage lifted, the belly button pulled in between the forearms, and then the spine pulled in toward the front of the body. Oh, and then the thighs and the hips up off the ground. Then they can try upward facing dog, right? But if not, or if you're not sure, Cobra is always a powerful, valid, and often more supportive option. That kind of cueing really gives your students both permission and clarity. It supports students in listening inward, letting their body lead the way, and it helps you as a teacher guide different ability levels in one class without losing the flow. Now, a few tips for supporting students. If someone feels pressure in their wrists or pinching in their shoulders, remind them to really push through the base of the fingers instead of the wrists. Alternatively, in Cobra, they could walk their hands forward a little bit, or they could even tent their fingers, maybe even place their hands up onto blocks, okay? Which can give more space and reduce compression. Now, if Up Dog is too much, obviously they can skip it completely. They can lower down pause or stay in Cobra. We just never want to cue everyone into upward facing dog, then tell them if this is too hard, then you can do Cobra, right? That doesn't make people feel good. We always want to build up to the more physically demanding poses, not backwards. Now, if you're teaching a slow flow, trauma-informed, or more grounding classes, Cobra is almost always the better choice, in my opinion, for regulating the nervous system. Remember, more intense isn't always more effective. Cobra and Up Dog serve completely different purposes. One isn't better than the other. What matters is offering options that serve the body as it is today, not the version that we wish we had or what we had yesterday or 10 years ago. So, to wrap it up, Cobra, pelvis grounded, lift with the spine, build strength and control, regulate the nervous system. Upward facing dog, pelvis lifted, bigger back bend, more intense. Support your students in choosing based on what their body can do and what it needs, not what they think they should be doing. Let me know in the comments which part of this video was the most helpful so that I can make sure to add more like it. And if this breakdown helped you feel more confident in cueing these back bends, please go ahead and like the video and subscribe. It helps YouTube to show it to more teachers so that they can find the kind of support that they need to teach in a safer, more inclusive way. Oh, and don't forget to grab your free cueing workbook if you haven't already. It's full of tips and examples that you can start using immediately in your next class. The link again is in the description. Thanks so much for being here and with me and my kitty, and for continuing your learning journey so that you can teach in a way that's more thoughtful, inclusive, and real. And I'll see you next time. Bye.